Good day everyone! Our team is going to discuss about pragmatism in education.
Many famous philosophers, including William James, were pragmatists. William James says that experimentation can be used as an approximate preparator of truth. James imbibes the idea that students are not merely a mind to be filled, but a human being capable of individual thoughts, interests, and experiences. James believes that an idea could be considered true if it works and practiced. Another educator that is known for being associated to pragmatism is John Dewey. He is known as the father of modern experiential education. He's an American philosopher and educator who was a leading exponent of philosophical pragmatism and rejected traditional methods of teaching by rote in favor of a broad-based system of practical experience. He was an early proponent of progressive education, maintained that education should reflect the life of the society. He believes that education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. One educational philosophy is pragmatism. What is pragmatism? The word pragmatism is derived from the Greek pragma, which means practice or action. Pragmatism is an educational philosophy that says that education should be about life and growth. That is, teachers should be teaching students things that are practical for life and encourage them to grow into better people. Unlike the idealists and realists who believe that the facts never change, pragmatists believe that the truth can change. Therefore, pragmatism induces to do useful and practical work. In education, pragmatists won't ask students to find the true answer. There won't be a true answer at the outset that they need to arrive at. Instead, the teacher will ask students to experiment and come back with an explanation of whatever worked in their experiment. It's up to the students to find out what is the most useful set of facts that got them the results they needed.
There are 4 principles of pragmatism for teachers to know about. Principle of utility, principle of interest, principle of experience, and principle of integration. Everything that students learn should have utility. A utilitarian is someone who values things that are useful. If knowledge is not useful in real life, then it isn't really all that interesting to a pragmatic person. However, if knowledge has real-life practical value, pragmatists are very interested in it. Pragmatic teachers are more interested in showing students things that will have value and relevance to their lives. When teaching mathematics, they might focus on teaching addition and subtraction by linking it to real-life situations such as shopping at the supermarket or scoring a game of basketball. Principle of interest. Curriculum content should also include the students' interests. Dewey argues that students have 4 interests: conversation, investigation, construction, and creative expression. Therefore, teachers should focus on creating lessons that involve talking with one another, investigating things through experimentation, making things, and being creative. Principle of experience. Pragmatists value experience over all else. Students can learn abstract things all day, but unless they experience those things, they may never truly learn. Teachers should therefore create a lot of project-based, experimental, and experiential lessons that help children learn by doing. If you don't experiment and experience things, you'll never know for sure if something is true or not. A pragmatic teacher is always focusing on getting students to get active. They won't be learning theory too much. They'll learn the theory, then spend the rest of the lesson applying the theory in a practical situation. You'll see lots of experiments, hands-on and project-based activities in a pragmatic classroom. Principle of integration. Curriculum content is not separate. Mathematics, science, and creative arts are not three different lessons. Instead, the pragmatic teacher links the curriculum content together through a process we call integration. The teacher will show students how concepts from different subjects are related to each other and encourage a holistic understanding of the topics they are learning.
Now let's take a look at how would pragmatism look in the classroom today. The classroom would become a place full of hands-on learning activities and experiences for the students. They will be able to discover new things for themselves through teacher-created learning opportunities. This could be implemented in a variety of different ways. A pragmatic classroom involves experiential, experimental, and project-based learning, play-based learning, and group work.
Experiential, experimental, and project-based learning. According to pragmatists, students learn best through experience. A pragmatic teacher, therefore, would not be the sort of teacher who does rote learning. Instead, the teacher would ask students to go off and experience things. The student can go off and experiment with materials to learn how they work. There will be a lot of scientific projects, writing tasks that involve topics that are relevant to the student's life, and mathematical tasks that can be used by the student when they go home at night. In science, the students could discover the anatomy of a frog through dissection and going on a nature walk. In math, students could have their own store where they learn basic math skills through the buying and selling of objects.
Another example of pragmatism is play-based learning. One of the best ways of experiencing the world is through play. This is particularly true for early childhood classrooms. Therefore, pragmatists believe that children should spend a lot of time playing. Through play-based learning, children experiment and therefore learn more and more about themselves and the world. Cooking in the classroom allows children to explore foods in a completely new way. In this activity, kids practice their counting and sorting skills as they give a helping hand in the kitchen. They also learn the healthy practices and healthy eating. Not only is this fun, but it also teaches the children responsibility and sharing with friends.
Group work and negotiation. In the classroom, students need to learn how to get along with each other and compromise in order to achieve results. A pragmatic classroom will therefore involve a lot of group work where students have to come to mutual agreements. In conclusion, there are so many interesting and engaging ways to add up pragmatism to the classroom. All the teacher must do is set up the interactive encounter that the students discover for themselves. All in all, pragmatism is about doing practical things that get results. It involves practical lessons that have value to the lives of learners. Pragmatist teachers also embrace change because they believe that children are active, competent, and capable of seeking out and finding solutions to the problems that trouble them in their lessons. They do not directly teach content but facilitates active learning. Thank you very much for watching and listening.